It's the most wonderful time of year because we have Champions League action happening. Match day 3 as we look ahead to it. I mean, there are some big games on this one. Barcelona looking for revenge after their loss in match day 2 to PSG.
Poor Olympiacos already. Poor Olympiacos.
They're going to be struggling in this one. Real Madrid against Juventus. That's October 22nd. You know, I'm looking for that one. Bayern Leverkusen against PSG on the 21st. These are all that you can look forward to in Champions League match day 3. But before we get too ahead of ourselves looking at match day 3, we have to look back at match day 2 and see where the table has stood out, because in this new league phase, all matters about where you are in the standings. And if we take a look at the top of the table, Karabag. Holy cow!
Very nice! Karabag, I'm
Sitting pretty.
This is beautiful.
Sitting pretty.
2 wins over Benfica, and then, of course, against Copenhagen, 2-0 in match day 2. You love to see it. I mean, of course, Bayern, Real Madrid, PSG, Inter, Arsenal, but Karabag, give them some love.
Listen, you think about the giants, the gigantes of this tournament. You think of the top 6, including Karabag, and they're in their rightful home.
Okay, so those are the top 6 teams that are all tied 2 wins on 6 points. But after match day 2 in the Champions League, we decided let's have a little fun with some overreaction. Who cares about being reasonable? So I'm going to throw out some scenarios. Our panel of brilliant analysts are going to say how much of an overreaction, if it is, or if it's not really that much. Any questions, my friends?
I'm here for it.
All right, let's rock and roll. Our first one is that Bayern should be favorites to win this Champions League season.
That's an overreaction.
Do you think
What?
I do.
They're top
I do.
of the table.
I agree with Aaron.
But the 2 teams we watched yesterday, those are my 2 favorites. PSG, the reigning holders, they just absolutely balled against Barcelona yesterday. The first 20 minutes aside, PSG is your favorite. Barcelona directly in behind them. I don't yet put Arsenal there because they don't have that winning pedigree. They don't have anyone who has won Champions League. They have the squad, but not the pedigree. Liverpool is up there easily. Bayern are amongst the favorites for me, but it's still PSG and Barcelona top 2 easily.
I don't think it's an overreaction though. I don't know. When you've got a striker like Harry Kane, absolutely banging them in, and they're just scoring so many goals as a team, let alone Harry Kane to add to that. But I think their stats for me speak for themselves. I think they're sitting sweet at the top. You can't argue with that. So for me personally, I don't think that one is an overreaction.
In a neutral site,
Yeah.
Bayern versus PSG. Let's just assume everybody's healthy for both teams. You would say Bayern is a favorite.
Everyone's healthy.
Yeah, let's say that.
I'm saying I don't think it's an overreaction,
That's
but that's a big giant matchup head to head, which is why this competition league phase is so fun with it too.
Yeah.
Right?
I can rock
It
with
makes
that.
the league phase pretty fun. Okay, so we have overreaction, not so much.
Oh, I agree with Aaron. Slight overreaction again. They are. I would put them in that top tier, but to say the favorites, overreaction. Yeah.
Well, Bayern Munich, they are at the top of the top 5 leagues. They are number 1 in most of the scoring stats. That is shots on target and the chances that they've created. So they have a chance to keep going. Plus, they've got Harry Kane up there. Okay, let's move on to our second one. Liverpool will only win 1 of their next 5 Champions League matches, Tom.
Overreaction. What are you talking about? They're struggling right now, but I think that they're just going to be okay. And even if it'd be disappointing if they only win 2. So to set the line here at 1, that's a vast overreaction.
Very optimistic fan over here.
Optimistic to win 2 out of 5?
Listen, I got you, Tom. I'm an Arsenal supporter. I hate Liverpool. This is a vast
That's why we
overreaction.
separated you
This is a
guys.
vast overreaction. Okay, let's look at their next fixtures. Frankfurt, Liverpool will beat Frankfurt. It might be 7-4, but they're going to beat Frankfurt. Madrid, we can scratch that one off. PSV, they're going to beat PSV. Inter, we can scratch that one off too. Marseille, that's a toss-up. Karabag, I mean, according to the table, might be difficult, but there's at least 2 wins in this run of fixtures. Just one is a vast overreaction in my book.
Yeah, but you're only saying 2.
At least.
Well, I'm just saying,
I wrote down
disrespectful
Frankfurt, PSG, Karabag. I didn't want to disrespect Karabag, but 3 wins is how I see this run of fixtures going.
They're saying 2 because the bar was set at 1.
Yeah.
Like, I'm down to get it. Yeah. Overreaction for me, I think. Look, they still. I understand it. They haven't been playing well, but they still managed to carve out results. 2 ties back to back is not where they want to be, and all of a sudden the conversation completely changes. But I'm still backing them. They'll get minimum 2, shall we say? I'll back you.
I think that this might look a little silly in hindsight, but that's what overreactions are for.
100%.
Well, Liverpool have lost 5 of their last 8 away games in all comps. That's as many as their previous 34 matches before. So when you look at the upcoming schedule, I think the road games are the ones that you might get a little shaky on with this Liverpool side.
That's fair, and that there are no easy games, or essentially no easy games in this competition. But Liverpool, again, they're among the favorites in the top 5.
If you guys had said it at 2, then maybe we would have a real
different
combo.
debate, yeah.
We might be shaking a little bit, but one's a lot.
That's a production. Let's start this. Okay, let's move on to our next overreaction. Kylian Mbappe will break Ronaldo's Champions League record, 17 goals in this season, Jen.
I mean, I think it is an overreaction. I think 17 is a huge ask from like prime Ronaldo, right? That's back in 2013-14. That is prime Cristiano Ronaldo. He has scored 5 from opening 2 games, so I do understand where it's coming from. But that amount of goals is still a big ask. But what a player, what a finish.
I don't think it's an overreaction because of, again, how incredible this player is, but let's just sheer numbers, sheer basic math. There's more games in this competition now than that Ronaldo era, so it's not even necessarily saying that Mbappe is a better player than prime Ronaldo, though you could, like, maybe we'll see if he is, but there are more games, and him starting with 5 goals in 2 games, and he's the kind of guy that he'll know if he's on 16, to the point where, let's watch out. So they play Benfica on the final match day of the group stage. Is there a possibility that we get a little Ronaldo loan to Benfica? Ronaldo plays right back just to defend Mbappe. Just to man mark Mbappe.
Just to maintain.
Because Ronaldo's going to know that too. The only person more than Mbappe who's going to know what the record is Ronaldo.
He's keeping his record.
I think that Mbappe could potentially do it, considering his form right now and how he's run so well. I mean, 5 goals in 2 matches, and the statement performance this week for Mbappe, to me, the hat trick and the style that he performed, I think he's only going to continue to take strides forward. And if he knows that record is out there to be set and taken, don't you just want it that much more?
Yeah. If my math is correct, if Real Madrid go to the final, they will play 15 more games. There's 8 more group stage games. When I first heard this, I was like, that's crazy. He's never hitting that mark. But when I looked at the matches they're going to play, the group stage matches, the number of matches they will play if they do get to the final, it's not an overreaction. I don't think he'll do it. I don't. 17 goals is so many in Champions League. You got to factor in injury and being rested, all these different things. And then when you get to the knockout rounds, he's not going to be scoring 2-3 goals every game. Still, though, it's not an overreaction because he could do it.
Anything is possible with your superstar goal scorer. Okay, let's move over to our last one that we have. Benfica and Jose Mourinho, they fell 1-0 to Chelsea on an own goal. So this overreaction is that Benfica won't advance past the league phase.
This is not an overreaction for me. I don't think they're getting out. I looked at their next matches.
This is tough.
Newcastle, Leverkusen, yes. Ajax, Napoli, Juve, Madrid.
Real Madrid.
What a gauntlet.
They're not getting out of there. They're not getting out of there. I don't see it.
It's too tough.
Yeah.
Too many top teams in there. This is why league phase, picking up points. And I know it was a narrow defeat against Chelsea, but there's some top opposition, and can I see them picking up enough points? I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but the only kind of caveat, if Juve have clinched, if Real Madrid have clinched, are they playing backups? Maybe, and that isn't even...
Is Kylian Mbappe playing, trying to get that
Mbappe plus the U23.
Right.
He's trying to break that record. I think for Benfica, it's going to be more, can they disrupt other teams? Can they take points off those other teams that are trying to break into the top portion of it or go into that playoff round? That, to me, is where Benfica is going to play spoil.
And just another one in the 4 there behind you, Ruben Amorim, one of the Portuguese 4. Things not going so well for him. And there have been some reports this week that he could possibly quit the Manchester United job before he is sacked to, maintain his reputation, if you will. Do you think that's a realistic scenario?
I don't think so. I think if he does that will I think make his reputation even worse. I think he now needs to stick with it. He needs to try to get some kind of run and get stability and get quiet. And the only thing that he can do is win matches. That will keep people quiet for now. How he's going to do that, don't ask me. At the moment, it doesn't look that they can buy a win. They look always that they can get a goal against.
How much of this comes down to him versus the players?
Well, he gives the instructions, and end of the day, it's his job, isn't it? So obviously the players have to go out there and do it. But they getting the platform, and then from the platform they have to put their own imagination to it, in that constructive kind of way, in that disciplined kind of way. But there is something that is not clicking. There is something that is not working. And you can say, yeah, the last game, if Fernandes scores the penalty, the game can go in a different direction. But then I would turn it at how many chances did they create, how many opportunities did they create, and how many did they miss. If they would have created a lot of chances and missed them, then you can say, you know what, you're not going to keep on missing them because they are quality players. But they're not creating a lot. And that's my problem. That's my whole thing about it. They are not creating a lot of opportunities, a lot of opportunities for Sesko, for instance, you know, or for Cunha. They're not creating enough. And that for me is a big issue.
Well, there are reports linking Gareth Southgate with taking over from Amorim if he was to leave United. You know what football's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Would that be a good fit for you?
Look, I don't like to see managers getting the sack and all that kind of stuff. But look, Gareth would be a great appointment. He's good talking to the media. He gives young players opportunities. What Manchester United stand for. He's got a brilliant playing style. You know, he wants to play good football and dominant football. He will calm it down. He will be clear. He will be clear. So in that aspect, he would be a brilliant appointment. You know,
You know him
really
well.
get the opportunity. I don't know.
You know him well. What is he like?
As I said, he's very assured of his way, where he wants to go, and his communication skills in communicating to the people around him and the players. He's very clear at that. You know. And yeah, he gives young players opportunities. He's not afraid to give young players opportunities, and that's what Man United stands for. So in that aspect, he would be a brilliant appointment.
Well, for now, it is Amorim. I know you told me not to ask you this, but that's my job. How does he turn things around?
He needs to keep on believing.
Does he stick to what he's doing, or does he need to adapt?
I think every good manager knows how to adapt and when to adapt, and is not afraid to make changes, and has to be flexible. You know, we all have a belief in how we want to play, but you have to have the players to be able to play it. And if you don't have the players, you need to adjust yourself. And I think, yes, he has to stick with his beliefs, but he has to adjust himself here and there to be able to get fully 100% to his beliefs, and then his play style can come through. That's how I see it.
Okay.
He might see it differently.
William Saliba opens up on Arsenal frustrations and his mission to win trophies. William Saliba has officially committed his long-term future to Arsenal, signing a new 5-year contract and turning down interest from European giants like Real Madrid. But for the French defender, this decision wasn't just about loyalty, it was about unfinished business. Speaking candidly about his journey so far with the Gunners, Saliba made it clear he's not satisfied yet. Despite his rising status as one of the Premier League's top centre-backs, he hasn't lifted the kind of silverware that truly defines a legacy. He, Trent Alexander-Arnold, won some titles with Liverpool, Saliba said, when asked why he stayed at Arsenal despite Real Madrid's interest. Me? I haven't won anything here yet, just the Community Shield. That's not enough. I haven't done anything to feel like I should leave. I want to win trophies here. A lot of them. This level of honesty is rare and refreshing. Saliba's hunger reflects the mood of the squad and the expectations of the fans. And it's a mindset that manager Mikel Arteta deeply values. It's great news for the club, Arteta said of the contract extension. Willy deserves this. His impact on the team has been phenomenal. We're building something special, and he's a key part of that foundation. Saliba also confirmed he's now fully recovered from the ankle injury that briefly interrupted his season. As Arsenal prepares for their Champions League clash against Olympiacos, he's clear about what needs to happen next. The club's long trophy drought has to end. I've been here for 3 years, and every time we finish second, it stings, he admitted. You go on vacation, but you're not really celebrating. You're thinking about what could have been. It doesn't feel right. Saliba's frustration isn't only about missed trophies. His path to becoming a starter at Arsenal wasn't smooth. After signing from Saint-Étienne in 2019, he spent the better part of 2 years on loan, including a spell at Nice that, at the time, left him questioning everything. When I arrived in 2020, I didn't play for 6 months. Then I was loaned out. Of course, I had doubts. I wondered if I'd ever play for this club, he said. But I told myself I couldn't leave without trying. Even when I was training with the under-21s, I kept working. When they told me in December it was best to go on loan, I was angry. I needed to play. But I never gave up. I went, I played, I came back, and I proved I could start. I'm proud of that. It shows you should never quit. That resilience, the refusal to walk away even when the odds were stacked against him, has shaped the player and the man Saliba is today. It's also what makes his connection to the club feel so personal. His love for Arsenal started long before he ever wore the shirt. Growing up in France, it was Thierry Henry, a club legend and Saliba's childhood hero, who made Arsenal feel like home, even from afar. My first Arsenal jersey had Henry on the back, he recalled. He was incredible to watch. Being French and seeing someone like him at a club like Arsenal, it inspired me. I was young, but I remember watching clips, especially that Champions League final in 2006 against Barcelona. That stayed with me. Now, Saliba isn't just wearing the same colours as his idol, he's trying to carry on that legacy. His admiration for Henry became motivation. His loyalty to Arsenal is about more than a contract. It's about identity, pride, and ambition. Despite heavy links to top European clubs, including Real Madrid, Saliba insists he never seriously considered leaving. To be honest, I wasn't really focused on the outside interest, he said. I was focused on staying here. I knew I wanted to be part of this project for years to come. So I'm happy. I'm proud to sign a new contract and keep going. And he's not the only one feeling the pressure to deliver. Mikel Arteta knows that expectations have changed. From the moment I took the job, I knew I wanted to win big trophies here, Arteta said. That's the standard. That's the ambition. No one needs to remind us of that. It's what we expect from ourselves. Excuses have never been part of my mindset. As Arsenal prepares for another shot at glory, both domestically and in Europe, Saliba stands at the heart of it all, stronger, more determined, and more connected than ever to the club he now proudly calls home. Saliba's commitment arrives at a crucial time for Arsenal. After back-to-back seasons of falling just short in the Premier League title race, the pressure to finally convert progress into silverware is at an all-time high. His decision to stay signals not just belief in the project, but also a call for accountability, both from himself and his teammates. Inside the dressing room, his words have reportedly resonated. According to sources close to the squad, Saliba has emerged as a growing leader, not just through his performances, but in how he's approached the off-season, rehab, and now the new campaign. For a player still only 24 years old, it's a sign of maturity and ambition. The timing of his comments, ahead of a critical Champions League group stage opener, only heightens their impact. Arsenal's return to Europe's top competition last season ended in disappointment, exiting in the quarter-finals. Now, with a more seasoned squad and a stronger defensive core, there's an expectation that they'll go further. For Saliba, that means not only defending with discipline, but setting a tone of seriousness and hunger from the backline forward. Outside the club, his decision to reject Real Madrid has stirred conversation in both England and Spain. Some pundits have framed it as a rare example of a top young talent turning down the allure of Madrid in favor of loyalty and unfinished work. Others see it as a signal that Arsenal, once again, is a destination club, capable of retaining elite talent in their prime, not just developing it. That kind of perception shift matters, particularly as the Gunners continue to compete for high-profile signings and work to maintain the progress made under Mikel Arteta. In many ways, Saliba's choice reinforces the club's vision, a young, competitive core built for sustained success, not short-term fixes. Still, questions remain. Can Arsenal handle the pressure of being favourites? Can they manage the physical and mental demands of chasing a title across multiple fronts? And how much longer will players like Saliba remain patient if the club doesn't deliver the trophies they now publicly crave? For Saliba, at least, the answer is simple. He's staying because he believes it can happen, and that it should happen. I came back, and I've started almost every game since. I've seen the growth of this team up close. I know what we're capable of, he said. But we have to prove it. Talking isn't enough. As the season unfolds, all eyes will be on how Saliba and Arsenal respond to that challenge. For now, though, the message is clear. The club's defensive anchor is not just here to stay, he's here to win.